like every day that you have to be in the calorie deficit to consistently lose.
I mean, I just feel like I could come in and I could tell you I'm not eating at all, and it would still be the same answer. It's you must be eating.
Well, that
you
would
must
be a
above
lie.
the calorie deficit.
That would be a lie if you told me you weren't eating at all.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Body Honesty Project. My name is Lydia, and today we will be talking about the diet lies that we tell ourselves. Yes, those little fibs that we say when we can't exactly explain why it is that we can't lose weight. Now, some of these lies are big, and some of these lies are small. And some of these lies we truly believe. But when we look at the facts, we can see that we may not be quite as honest about our efforts in weight loss as we'd like to be perceived to be. So, before we get into the TikTok, why don't we watch this next clip about the diet lies we tell, then come back and discuss. Why can't I lose weight? I've tried everything to lose weight. I just can't do it. Lies. The truth is, you've only tried fad diets to lose weight. Cleanses, fasts, and elimination diets are not sustainable. They are even difficult to sustain for a short period of time. The everything you've tried hasn't included changing your lifestyle permanently. My metabolism is broken. Lies. It is highly unlikely that your metabolism is broken. It is more likely adapted. Metabolic adaptation occurs when you lose weight. That's because a smaller body needs fewer calories to exist than a larger body. Your metabolism isn't broken. It's functioning to support your needs. Your needs are just a little less than you think they should be. I have a medical condition. I can't lose weight. Lies. With the exception of conditions like lipedema, you can lose weight despite having a medical condition. Some medical conditions make it more difficult to lose weight and require a specific diet, but it's not impossible. I'm on medication that prevents me from losing weight. Lies. Medication causes behavior changes. Some meds drive appetite up and some drive it down. Some meds stimulate people and others make them more lethargic. The meds do have an impact on you, but their impact with respect to weight is on how you are driven to behave. It doesn't make you gain weight on its own. My hormones caused my weight gain. Lies. Well, this one's only a partial lie. Your hormones do drive your hunger and fullness signals. But the only thing that drives your weight is food, and you have control over what you eat. I've been on a diet my whole life. Nothing works. Lies. The truth is, you've thought about losing weight your entire life, but the actual amount of time that you've spent on a diet is minimal. It seems like you've been on diets forever because your brain has been consumed with your body size forever, but that's all it is. Thoughts. If you'd actually been following and sticking to a healthy lifestyle, it would have worked. You just don't want to be honest about the actual effort that you've been putting in over the years. I actually eat very little. I have no idea why I'm gaining weight. Lies. You eat very little during the day. You exist off of coffee, handfuls of nuts, and the odd fruit here and there. But when nighttime comes, uncontrollable snacking becomes the norm, which gets justified internally because you didn't eat all day. But those nighttime binges can pack in far more calories than your normal meals would have added up to. I eat mostly healthy. Lies. The volume might look like you eat mostly healthy, but calorically it could be the inverse. Eating veggies and lean proteins for meals is healthy and good for you, but they don't negate the junk food snacks. It might look like mostly healthy to have 3 healthy meals and 2 unhealthy snacks, but if the snack calories surpass the meal calories, you are eating mainly unhealthy and likely too much. I can eat whatever because I can just burn it off after. Lies. You are overcounting your exercise. You cannot outrun a bad diet. It is impossible. The calories in a 2-liter pop will take hours of running to burn off. I stick to my diet every day, and it still isn't working. Lies. You are mainly following your diet, but you aren't tracking everything you eat. All the extra stuff you put in your mouth counts. The crusts off your kids' sandwiches, the cream and sugar in your coffee, the handful of crackers that you scooped out of the pantry, that all counts. No, I really do track everything. Lies! You track, but you don't measure. You eyeball your food and your servings are all out of whack. You count 300 calories for a snack that's 600 calories. You count a 7-ounce steak as a 4-ounce steak. And you aren't aware that when you empty a package of something, you're likely eating more than one serving. It's okay that I'm gaining weight. I'm exercising, so it must be muscle. Lies! If you are truly in a calorie deficit, you shouldn't be gaining any weight. It is possible to gain muscle, but question how exactly are you working out? If you are lifting heavy regularly with the goal of gaining muscle, sure, it's possible. But if you are doing moderate cardio with some light lifting, it's highly unlikely. You don't accidentally gain muscle. It takes hard work. So if you've accidentally gained weight, it's more likely fat. Diets don't work anyways. Almost all diets fail. Lies! Diets don't fail. Adherence to diets is where failure occurs. If you can't adhere to the diet, it was either too unrealistic or you lost motivation to stick to it. There are bad weight loss programs out there, but gradual lifestyle changes don't fail, if you honestly adopt them. So, if these are all lies, what am I supposed to do? Take an honest look at your lifestyle and see what areas you can improve on. Can you add a walk to your day? Can you bring your lunch instead of buying one? Can you go to bed a little earlier and skip the unnecessary late-night snack? Then, take an honest look at what you're eating, how much you're eating, and when you're eating. See where you can make small changes. Make some healthy swaps, cut portions, limit sauces and dressings, up fiber and protein. Whatever changes you think you can make and stick to. Monitor your progress weekly or monthly. And if you still aren't losing weight, reassess. We'd all like to believe that there's another reason as to why we struggle with weight loss. But instead of wasting our energy on finding this mythical reason, we'd be much better off investing that time on doing the things that we can do rather than looking for reasons why we can't. Now, before we get into the TikTok, I want to make it perfectly clear that the previous animation was not an attack or mockery or anything on the TikToker I'm about to show. This was a lighthearted look at some of the little fibs that we tell ourselves when we're trying to lose weight. I was not trying to ridicule her in any way. That avatar was me. I'm the one that tells all those lies, and I thought that some of you might have been able to relate to some of those lies. But by showing that ahead of time, I thought it might give some insight into what sort of thoughts might be going on in her mind when she professes to be doing all the right things. So why don't we jump right on in?
Okay, I mean, it is what it is. You're basically telling me I just have to eat less. Is that
It's not just less, because that's not easy, or else everybody would be doing it, and there wouldn't be a whole field of weight loss medications, and there wouldn't be all these issues with weight.
Yeah, and I understand. And I've had my experience with eating disorders, and that's why I'm trying to have a more positive attitude about this, but it's really difficult because I have been eating less and less and less, and it's not helping. So this is just really...
Well, maybe you are doing it some days, but not like every day of the week. And it has to be like every day that you have to be in the calorie deficit to consistently lose.
I mean, I just feel like I could come in and I could tell you I'm not eating at all, and it would still be the same answer. You must be eating.
Well, that would be a
above
lie.
The calorie deficit.
That would be a lie if you told me you weren't eating at all.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. So,
that's not what I'm saying, though.
If you want to, if you want to just argue about it, we can, or I can try to give you the resources to try to get there in the calorie deficit to help you lose the weight. If you want a second opinion, you're welcome to it. I won't be offended. Okay? We have plenty of other doctors here. We also have the weight management program, which is specifically geared towards this.
stabilize it and make sure it does not.
Do you want the number?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
You haven't? I would give them a call and just learn more about the program.
I've seen them before. I have my own nutritionist. I'm not interested in that program.
Now, I think that the purpose of the TikTok was to expose medical gaslighting. But did it do that? Because I don't think that it did. I don't actually disagree with anything that the doctor said, only how she said it. We also don't know what transpired in the conversation before the video began, because this seemed to pick up at the middle or end of a conversation, and the doctor may have been exasperated talking to a patient that refuses to take accountability. We don't know what happened in the conversation before the video started. But rather than focusing on what the doctor did say, I thought it would be fun to think about the things that the doctor could have said or should have said to her patient, rather than simply eat less. So why don't we take a look at some other questions that the doctor could have asked? While having the conversation about eating less, I didn't hear the doctor ask, well, how much are you eating? Because that would have been a good place to start. Now, just because someone is eating less does not mean that they're eating less enough to lose weight. If you regularly eat 3,000 calories and you drop it down to 2,500 calories, but your body only needs 2,000 calories to maintain its weight, you are still gaining weight. And if you drop it to 2,000 calories, well, then you're maintaining your weight. You're still not losing weight. So eating less, if you're starting really, really high, doesn't exactly tell us much. And when we say eating less, well, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean fewer calories? Does that mean smaller portions? Does that mean less volume? We didn't really quantify what less is. Because if you're eating a whole lot of high-calorie processed junk food and you eat less of it, you're probably still getting too many calories. I'd also like to know how they're measuring. Are you measuring with calories? Are you weighing your food? Or are you just eyeballing it? Because if you don't actually know how much you're putting into your body, where are you starting from? How do you know how much you need to deduct if you haven't added up what you're eating in the first place? No, I don't think it is necessary for everybody to count calories to lose weight. But if you're going into the process with no idea about how much you eat or what the caloric values of food are, I think that everyone needs to start somewhere and at least get a basic understanding of food and nutrition before you're free to go out and eyeball things. The next question I would ask is, what are you eating? Are you eating a lot of processed foods, or are you eating a lot of whole foods? Are you getting enough protein? Are you getting enough fiber? Are you getting too much sugar? All of those things I would ask about the what. Now, I know that technically you do not need to change your diet to lose weight. You just need to eat fewer calories. But it becomes increasingly more difficult if your diet is mainly high-calorie processed food. If you're used to eating a 1,200 calorie fast food meal and you cut it back to 800 calories, guess what? You're gonna be hungry because those calories are empty calories and they do not satisfy you. But if you were to swap out that meal for 800 calories of lean proteins and vegetables and high fiber starches, then you'll be satisfied and full of energy and you won't feel hungry after eating less than you normally would. Making healthier choices doesn't need to be about morality. It doesn't need to be, I am good because I'm eating healthy, or I'm bad because I'm eating junk food. Make the decision based on your needs. This food will make me feel good. This food will make me full. This food will give me energy. Whereas fast food makes me feel tired and slightly sick. I would also ask the question of, when are you eating? And yes, I know that it doesn't really matter in the energy balance model about when you eat, calories in versus calories out. But if you are one of those people, and I will say I am one of them, and I fight this all the time, that prefers to eat their calories at night and eat very little during the day, then you may be setting yourself up for a binge at night. A lot of people find it easier to go about their day without eating. They work, they do their chores, they run errands, and they don't think about food. But in the evening, it becomes a heck of a lot harder to control those thoughts and urges. So many people save their calories for the evening so that they don't go over. But doing this makes you extra hungry during the day, so instead of having a small snack, it turns into a nighttime binge. Making small efforts to eat a little more during the day could help you out a lot when nighttime comes. I would also ask questions about if the patient is on other medication and what exactly are the effects of that medication. Now, I know that as the doctor, they know what the medication is, but I know so many people that don't actually understand their medication. Medication often has the side effect of weight loss or the side effect of weight gain, but too many people don't ask why. Because the medication doesn't magically make you fat or magically make you thin. It wreaks havoc on your hormones, which regulate your appetite. So, for example, if a pill is known to give you dry mouth, your doctor should warn you ahead of time and tell you to make sure that you drink lots of water. And this is really important when it comes to weight loss because hunger and thirst signals often get mixed up in our brains, and people might think that they're hungry when they're actually thirsty. So in order to mitigate what the medication is doing to your hormones, stay hydrated and you won't get those extra signals or get the signals mixed up. Some medications also increase your appetite. So know that ahead of time. Ask your doctor questions so that you can be armed with the resources that you need to fight against this. Don't just give in and say, oh, I guess weight gain is a side effect. Gotta accept it. No, find out why and do the best to control the things that you can. The doctor did comment on consistency, but she didn't spend a whole lot of time saying how consistent that you need to be. Now, everybody can afford to cheat a little. One high-calorie meal per week is not going to derail you. But a high-calorie binge day will derail your whole weeks of progress. If 6 out of 7 days of the week you achieve a 200 calorie per day deficit, but one of those 7 days you go out and blow 4,000 calories, you've just undone all of your progress. So even though 6 out of 7 days looks great, calorie-wise, it isn't consistent enough to produce weight loss. So the doctor could have said all of those things or asked all of those questions rather than simply saying to eat less. But I'm not even convinced that those were her words because it seemed to me like the TikToker was trying to coerce the doctor into saying that, and she was trying to say that it is more complex and that the TikToker was trying to reduce it down to just eat less, but we didn't hear the whole conversation, so I can't be certain. What I did find was quite telling, though, in the conversation was that at the end, when the patient was offered other services, she declined. So if she declined extra help, is that really someone who's at their wit's end that can't figure it out? Or is that someone who has a whole lot of excuses and just wants to complain? She also mentioned that she's already working with a nutritionist, and the fact that she declined the services in favor of the services that she's already receiving and obviously is not successful with leads me to believe that her coach is probably some sort of intuitive eating dietitian nutrition coach. And if that's the case, well, there's no wonder she isn't losing weight. Now, as I was doing the research for this video, I stumbled across a new TikToker that I had never watched before, and that was Dr. Carla. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with her, but this woman rubs me the wrong way. Now, I actually already showed her TikTok, but I didn't show it full screen. The TikTok that I covered today, I could not find the original. I could only find a stitched version of it, so I played the stitch and only showed her half. Now, I'm only going to play a couple seconds of the TikTok, including Dr. Carla, because you don't need to see the whole thing again. All she does is make these indignant faces while the TikToker is speaking. And to me, it just comes off so disingenuous. So here's a little clip, and I'll let you decide for yourself.
This is just really...
Well, maybe you are doing it some days, but not like every day of the week. And it has to be like every day that you have to be in the calorie deficit to consistently lose.
I mean, I just feel like...
Now, my problem with Dr. Carla is that her videos, to me, are incredibly insincere. Because she does these stitches with people that are struggling with their weight, or fat activists, or just people that say that diets are bunk and nobody can lose weight and calorie deficits don't work. And she goes on and she agrees with them. She makes these emotive faces of genuine concern, and she placates all of the fat feelings, telling people it's not your fault and calorie deficits don't work. But that's not what Dr. Carla stands for. She makes a whole lot of these videos on the surface that pull people in and think that she is a fat ally. But once you dig into her content, you can see she's pushing keto. But she doesn't call it keto. The diet that she says that will solve your weight loss issues and never have you worrying about calories and calorie deficits again is keto. Arguably a much, much, much harder diet than a calorie deficit. I'm not saying she's wrong. Eating a high-protein, low-carb diet will produce weight loss. I just hate the way that she's doing it by lying to people and telling them that it's not their fault, sucking them in, and then going, bam, it is your fault. Because she doesn't address calories in food. She only addresses hormones. So here's the thing. The hormones drive the appetite, which causes weight gain. So the hormones are to blame. But how do we regulate the hormones? Food. So we have to address the food we eat to regulate the hormones, to regulate the appetite, to control the weight gain. Dr. Carla and other TikTokers like her like to dwell on that hormone space and get everyone to buy into it's hormones, it's hormones, it's hormones, it's not your fault. And then they'll slap you with, in order to control the hormones, you need to fix the diet. So she's not wrong. She's just sneaky in her delivery. And to me, that's not very honest. I have a lot more to say about Dr. Carla and other TikTokers like her, but I'm going to save that for another video. So until next time, stay body positive, but also body honest.